Pretty nice for a dry week in the Mojave. Some late April thunderstorms just swept through. I'm actually even wearing a jacket. It's almost like a monsoon storm. Very nice for what was supposed to be a bone dry sunny week. It's pretty nice of them to offer to fertilize the desert for free. Public service right there. If you ever need some furniture, desert just south of Las Vegas, I have something to offer here and there. Saw a bed a little while ago. Pretty sure that's the bed coming up right there. There it is, straight ahead. The salted playa. Looks dry right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's muddy once I'm there though. Might have to skirt along the base of Sheep Mountain there. Maybe I'll go through Sheep Mountain. I haven't decided yet. But the water is out there on the other side of the playa. And before midday tomorrow, I definitely want to be out there. Kino cactus right here. You can distinguish it by ferrocactus from the cottony tops of the barrels there. See that? I've never seen them in flower. Can't tell you what those look like yet. Another way to distinguish them from our common ferrocactus barrels is they don't really get that big. And they congregate in these dense clusters out more often than not. Almost always clustered, as opposed to ferrocactus is almost never clustered. Again, cottony tops there, and not much height possible. Sheep Mountain up there. I still have to cross the salted playa to get my water, so won't be checking out Sheep Mountain this time. I gotta come back though, because I've been running into some really cool limestone restricted plants out here, like Enceliopsis for example. Ran into that last night, not this morning, but we will be back here during a more temperate day for a day trip, since I didn't realize this was just a random limestone outcropping, if you will, out here. Lucy Grays were not limestone, and I'm guessing the McCulloughs are not limestone, although we'll find out. Got the salted playa out there. My water is on the other side of it. I'll be there shortly, living it up. This place was bugging me out last night. It's unmarked on the map. It's very well lit, silent, but it's a crack rock factory. They were up cracking rocks before I wanted to be awake, and could hear it all from my camp. These people are producing crack rocks by the bushel out there, and it never stops, even in a pandemic apparently. Sure, they're here for all the nice limestone I just ran into. Anyway, if you want to work as a crack rocker, you need a good pickup truck. That's one thing that is clear and necessary. How about that? Crack rock factory has their own paved road. Get all those bushels out there. Crack Rock Highway in use. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Kind of exciting. There's a natural reason why vegetation fades out there. It is not solar fields 5.0 or anything like that. It's a natural void of vegetation. Someone maybe camped or even living out on the edge of that. I don't know if it's quicksand. I don't know if it's all salt crystals or what. But the larias are really starting to fade out. Right around now. See the laria forest back there. And now it's a few ephedras and lots of old last year's husks of eriogonum. Now something weird's about to happen. Pretty much just down to a few pathetic larias. The new growth of eriogonum and the old growth for that matter. Amsynchia here and there, Eschscholzia here and there. And some kind of new grass. Must be salt tolerant. It's not alive yet this year. I don't know what it is yet. Looking forward to figuring it out someday. But it's pretty much just this bunch grass. Almost looks like a shrub from afar, but it's just gray grass. And laria. Guess it's possible that it's another crack rock factory. But I'm not going to get any closer than this to find out. Alright, we're doing it. We're not in the center, so I don't know how wet or not wet it may get out there, but it's seeming pretty dry. You can tell after a rain probably that this gets pretty muddy and wet, but I wouldn't necessarily predict it holds water all that often. It'd have to be some kind of big set of monsoonal events or something. Quite pleasant walking. It's where the East Coasters come out to bathe usually. They need their beach, you know, so come out here. You can see them laying out for miles when there's not a pandemic and a quarantine in place. That's why it's so empty right now, but you should see this place usually in April. Beautiful weather. I mean, it feels like East Coast day on the beach for sure. A nice one. Not too hot. Quite warm. Definitely warm enough to sunbathe. It's nice to see this place peaceful for a change. It is a saline environment here. It's not off the charts with salt crystals or anything. It's extremely flat. When you get the really salty places, it can even be hard to walk through all the crunchy salt formations. And there doesn't seem to be any deep mud or anything like that. Now that the salted ply is over with, just about, I hate to break it to you that the edge of despair lies over the next set of hills, and that we're going there together. We're gonna get through it together, but that is indeed what lies ahead, is the edge of despair. And it's gonna be hot as heck out at the same time, so every good trip requires a little sacrifice sometimes, though. Maybe we'll learn something nonetheless. Got a familiar friend out here. How's it going? Sure is a lot warmer than last time. Hottest, flattest, and lowest day of this trip seems to be holding true all morning so far. It's almost noon. We've been to the salted playa. I want to get through there into a place called Hidden Valley, but someone's shooting machine guns in front of me somewhere, and I feel like I need to stay to the left here until I get past them. I don't think they're going to be shooting towards roads out there. It's better to have a flattest, lowest, and hottest day rather than the lowest, hottest, and steepest day. So this isn't too bad. Probably dip into the 90s a little bit today. I don't know if you can hear the artillery over there. It's coming from two directions. There's artillery going off out there. There's artillery going off in front of me. And I just need to see what they're shooting at to avoid the line of fire. Sounds like a war zone out here. I'm just as happy to go around all this rather than through these subsidiary arms of the McCulloughs. It looked like Hidden Valley on the other side of this range was a constant back and forth of huge truck traffic for some reason, in addition to traffic of recreationalists. So Hidden Valley is not so hidden. And there are shooters out there, there's shooters out here. I think they may be shooting at some of these aberrant rock piles on the plain here. But anyway, happy to head around, just briefly cross into Hidden Valley, hit my next water point, and then go full on into the McCulloughs from there. It's not going to get much above 90 today, I don't think, so the heat is bearable. Got plenty of water out here in general, so I'm not worried about it. Moving quickly. Still seeing lots of spring annuals, Kenactis, Malacothrix, Raffinaceae, all our familiar friends. Eschscholtzia, even Amcinctias still, Mentzelias. lots of chrysanthi actually, etc., etc. So it's plenty entertaining on these flats for the time being. Can't tell if it was spooked by me or the artillery. So yeah, those rock piles are the artillery range. And if I just stay to the west here and close to the road and even the interstate out there, I'm sure they're not shooting towards the road in any sense, since I'm sure they go there a lot, and I'm sure they're pretty well practiced and pretty knowledgeable and safe about that kind of thing. I would like to hope and think, at least. It's pretty cool. We got something interesting ahead. Yeah, that's what you think it is. Oh boy. They really need the wig for effect, or? Jeepers creepers. You ever wondered what a shot up swimming pool looks like? Or a bucket? Maybe a water jug? How about a shot up TV screen? You ever wonder what it looks like inside there? Seems to me like this trigger happy area just south of Las Vegas has had an effect on the plant life. I mean, there's no yuccas. Saw plenty of yuccas back there away from the roads, but I have a sickening feeling that they were long ago murdered by steel, by bullet, whatever. So it's a big monoculture of Lauria, Eriogonum inflatum, some other Eriogonum species, and in fact weedy mustards. And there are guns everywhere in these mountains. There's someone driven up from the city to wreak havoc upon somewhere or something. Just up the top of that slope there is my very brief portal into Hidden Valley. I will immediately leave Hidden Valley within a mile of entering, and finally start heading into the northern McCulloughs proper. I believe these are technically subsidiary arms of the McCulloughs, but I'm still walking northwards nonetheless, and have yet to begin the southern directional traverse along the McCulloughs. Really sounds like a war zone out here still. Might have some PTSD or something, we'll see. Because all I can hear sounds like artillery and shelling. This place is totally wrecked ecologically, and it's affecting me personally because it's a big monoculture Bromus technorum for the most part. There's only a few wispy ones there, but they are really covering the ground elsewhere. And the seeds are all stuck in my socks now, and it if anyone's familiar with walking through cheatgrass fields, it's not painful per se, but it's definitely not pleasant, and could be described more on the itchy side of things, actually. So there it is. Totally wrecked here. They really have the choice of places to hang out here. This one's a little less secluded than the one with the wig. There are dozens and dozens more where that came from. Ay, ay, ay. That's not like they pick up after themselves. It'd be a different story. Nope, there's freaking paper towels everywhere, Amazon boxes, lawn chairs, Corona, Bud Light, you name it. So it's not like they're respectful afterwards, is the thing. You know? I don't care if you like shooting guns, it's fine. I like guns. I used to shoot guns when I was small. I'll do it again, I'm sure, someday, but I won't fuck the place up like this. Fucking assholes. So intense, I've never been really stopped by a fence this high. In Nevada, at least. It's almost always barbed wire. This has something to do with being so close to Henderson, I would say. But anyway, it presents a problem. I know what they're fencing off, since there's plenty of ATV roads on each side of the fence. But, it's not relevant. I need to find a way through somehow. Oh, that's nice. All the garbage from the shooting sites comes down in the flood events. Okay. Not enough to wipe out the fence. Fast trenches of fence are so stupid because they inevitably break down really quickly, actually. And here we go. Looks like someone may have done it for us, but yeah, it's a big waste of money. And when they fall down, a major source of pollution that sticks around forever. Oh, nice fence. Good job. Bunkered down outside of Damascus, Syria here. Got opposition forces out there. Got the regime's forces coming from that way. There's a bloody intersection there right in front of me. Yeah, that's Damascus out there. Whoa. Okay. Just gonna sit here for a minute. Let them fight it out. This Swear to God, I'm gonna be hearing gunshots in my head all night. That's what I've been hearing all afternoon. Stretching into evening now. The shooters themselves have forced me to make some terrific detours, so I would have liked to have been on the trail system in Henderson by now, but that's still a couple hours away yet, I'd say at least. Had to climb crazy fence, even though I got through it that one time. I had to actually climb it to avoid the shooters, and to get my pack over it I had to throw my water bottles over, and my Nalgene exploded, so I'm down 1.5 liters of water. Should be fine because I have more water in Henderson, but look at that. It's just pathetic. They've got like at least a dozen stations in this one valley here. There's another one right there driving along. That's the hidden valley out there. Henderson's right over the bump over here. I'm sure that's going to be part of Henderson someday soon. Although I'd be curious to know where the water's going to come from. But I mean, we're right on the edge of it as it is here. Nice bouquet of Bromus tectorum, aka cheatgrass, all over my feet. It's nice of the Bromus to let some Xylorhiza and Spheralcio come up here and there. Alright, we've passed through the hidden valley of hell, and we're almost up against the edge of despair, so brace yourself. Kinda crazy how all the gunfire and shelling gets your adrenaline going. I was either hunkered down in the shade or booking it for miles and miles across all of that, just in pure beast mode. No other way to describe it. And I still feel it, and it's probably gonna keep me going for some hours still, so at least there's that. Between the heat, the interstate, all the shelling and machine gun fire, I'm talking about rocket launchers at minimum. I feel like I'm shell-shocked. I feel like I've been whooped through the furnace of shit. And like I'm coming out the other end, perhaps. We'll see. And one thing that's calmed me down for sure is that it's not all Bromus tectorum anymore. That was part of the warlike experience. Just the fields and fields, the acres, the hectares of Bromus tectorum. But unfortunately, it's not all over, since we haven't come to the edge yet. Flying saucers. Now, how else did it get here? No road, no nothing. That's the edge. It's a nice morning on the edge of despair. Fine breeze, not too warm yet. Definitely lower Mojave out here. Shadidra abundant. Lauria tridentata abundant. Sphaerelsia ambigua abundant. Crowded mansions abundant. And hopefully when it starts to warm up here, I will be up there in the northern McCulloughs at higher elevation. Quite a juxtaposition out here. This side we have big bright orange super blooms of Sphaerelsia ambigua. On this side we have the front line. The birds actually seem to be loving the trees and harborage up there. Native quails even. Oh yeah. They're flocking on the guardrails up there. Just a striking juxtaposition. At the same time that we have the native quail, phainopeplas and other things. It's actually a bird paradise out here right now. I also hear mourning doves up there under the eaves, so that is the front indeed.